Hi folks, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a video here based on making this USB key. I actually have kind of an example of something that's obviously very similar to it there, okay? So that's essentially what we're going to be actually designing today, okay? You can see here it's made up of two parts, the USB itself and obviously the USB cover that obviously rotates around it and has this little kind of base where you might attach it onto maybe a keychain or something like that. Okay, so we're going to be making it in a couple of parts to show you the various parts. This is going to be the assembled file at the end, what it looks like. I'm going to show you how to do maybe a little bit of detail there, write a name or something on it. And if I just show you the parts, that's one part there, obviously where I did the name. And then on the other part, that is the main key body, okay? And that's the part we're going to spend probably the most part on this first video on. So first video is going to be making this, and the second video is going to be making this one, and then obviously including the assembly at the end. So I'm going to close down those there now. I'm just going to say don't save, don't save, don't save. Okay, so obviously at this point you'd have SolidWorks open, but wherever you have maybe a folder created, okay, so my folder is here. Okay, I have it created here previously, but for the purpose of this video I'm just going to start from the start. So in your wherever folder it is you're making your objects, what you want to do is you want to right click and go create new folder, and we're going to call it USB key. Okay, and everything that we make now for this USB key, we're going to put it into this folder, empty at the moment obviously. Okay, so with SolidWorks open, we go file, new, part is open, click OK. Okay, so to start off, what we want to do, okay, I'm going to refer out here to this little instruction sheet, and it says here, open a new part from SolidWorks dialog box. Okay, it says save as USB key body. What we're going to do is we're going to create the body first, and then we're going to save it at the end. So it says here, in the Sketch Command Center, select the front plane in the design tree and select the sketch icon. In the Sketch Command Center, select center rectangle as shown and draw it with the origin in the middle, a center rectangle, 18 by 7, and it is on the, where am I going here, front plane. Okay, so that's the first thing we want to do. So front plane, select sketch, then I'm going to go up here to the sketch commands, select the center rectangle. Okay, my center rectangle is selected. I want to always start on the origin. Click, let go, drag out, click again. Now I want to give it a dimension, so I go to my smart dimension. With smart dimension selected, I'm going to make this line 18 and this line 7. You can see here our sketch is fully defined. Okay, now if I refer back, it's telling me here when the sketch is fully defined, added lines, accept the sketch, okay, and it's going to tell me then to go to my features tab. So I've done a sketch, I now want to extrude it to 3D. So it says here extrude by 38 millimeters. So extrude boss base 38 millimeters, and we want it going out in this direction. So go up here to my features tab, extrude boss base, flip the direction. So to flip the direction, I want it going in this direction. I'm going to click on this little arrowhead here in direction 1. Okay, change the direction then, or change the distance to 38. Done that, accept that with the green arrow. There we go, first part done. Now I'm going to rename that F2, click on it, press F2, USB, I'll just say body. Perfect. Okay, happy with that. The next bit we have to do is, I'm going to go back in here now. So it says, accept extrude. Select the top face of the object and select the sketch icon from the ghost toolbar. Press the space bar, okay, so we're looking straight at a normal tool. Then it says, select the center line command as shown, okay? And what we want to draw is, we want to draw this, okay? Center line going from the top part to the bottom part, okay? And we want to then draw a center point arc command and place the center point anywhere on the center line. Okay, so I want to draw on this face. So select the face, select the sketch icon. It should usually, in the new updated SolidWorks, pop in, okay? If it comes in after you select the sketch icon in like kind of a format like that, if you press your space bar and press this button here, normal 2, it'll bring it nice and straight up on the screen for you. We now want to go up to our line command and select the center line. So going down here to my origin, I want to draw a center line from the bottom to the top where the two nodes are. Deselect the tool, press escape. Now I want to go to my center point arc, which is in here. So make sure you're on the center point arc. Click center point arc. I want to start anywhere along the center line. So make sure you're on the center line. Click, let go. It's going to do any arc, any size. Okay, I'm actually going to do it smaller than I need. Click, click. Okay, there's my arc. Could have made it bigger, could have made it smaller. Happy with that, okay? Now, what I want to do then is, going back to the sheet, it's going to tell us, select the arc, then press and hold down the control key, which is CTRL. It's the bottom left hand of or bottom left of your keyboard, to select the bottom line of the rectangle also. Release the control key once the two are selected and select the tangent icon on the Ghost toolbar. Then it says select Smart Dimension, add a 2 mm between the end of the arc and the bottom line shown. Okay, so what I want to do is this line here, I'm still on my arc tool, so I press escape. This line here, select this line. Okay, so you might have had it selected already. I usually just press escape out here. Then select the line, hold down control and select this line. You'll see over here on the left hand side a relation icon will usually come. It also should come when I click on this and then select this. It should pop in here as well, and you can see it's in there. Make a tangent. So I could select it here or over here. I usually do it over here because I always have an option with them there. So I'll select that. Notice how the arc is now tangential with this surface. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I want to make this arc touch against this face. So if I click on this point and then also click on control, I want to make them coincident. There we go. So green arrow. Likewise with this one. Click on the point at the end of the arc, hold down control, click on the line, click coincident. Now we have it's touching. What I want to do now is I want to draw a line from this point here down to this point, over to this point, and back up to this point. The next thing I have to do is I have to set a dimension, so a smart dimension. I'm now going to smart dimension this line here, and I want that line to be 2. Notice how it changed at the opposite side. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to go extrude cut to remove that material. So if I go features, extrude cut, what I want to do is instead of blind, I want to say true all. Notice how it's not showing us anything. What I actually have to do is if I hover over the areas, but I have to select the right area. So I want to select in here, click, then select in this area, click. When I'm happy with that, click the green arrow, done. I have now got a lovely curve up here at the top of it. Okay, so that's that bit done there. That's the bit there, obviously done that and showing you where the cut has happened down here. Okay, so the next bit we're moving on to, okay, and I'll rename that feature in a second up, is going to be creating the actual USB stick. Okay, so it's going to be creating this part here, this metallic bit at the top of it. Okay, so you can see that here. So we want to select this face here to sketch on, and then we want to create a center rectangle that is 12 by 4. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to rename that feature, F2, and what I'm going to call it is USB body curve. Perfect. Now, rotate it around so that you're looking at this face, select this face, select sketch. You can see my origin is right in the middle. Go up to my center rectangle, start on the origin, once again very similar to the start, create this. Then smart dimension, select this line, I want this to be 12, and I want this one to be 4. Okay, so you can see here we've got a lovely rectangle sketch at the front of it. Now I'll go back to my sheet. I want, it says there, using center rectangle, draw, obviously, okay, accept sketch. In the features, we want to extrude boss base this by 12 millimeters. But what it says is, note, make sure to untick the merge result box. And I'm going to talk to you about this guy here, okay? It's very, very important. So, in this little section here, I'm going to go to my features. Now, they always say accept the sketch, okay, which is obviously click on this guy and exit. What I don't like about that is the sketch goes grey. So I usually like to be in the sketch. So click on, if that ever happens to you, click on the sketch over here and click edit sketch. So I always am active. I like to be active. So features, extrude boss base. Now, It's asking me here to select the area to do it out from. Merge results, true all. I want to go blind. There we go. Sorry, not true all. Apologies. That's why I wasn't coming out. So I need to be blind. Blind condition, and the distance was 12 millimeters. Perfect. Now, very important here. Sometimes this merge result will stay ticked. Okay. Now, if this merge result stays ticked, I'm going to come back and edit in a second. Okay. But I'm going to leave it ticked. Okay. And I'm going to click the green arrow. Now, that looks absolutely perfect there. Okay. But what I want you to note is, okay, note up here where this little section here says solid bodies, and you can see the little 1 symbol beside it. Okay, there's technically only one solid body, and I'll explain about that now in a second. So I've got one solid body in here at the moment. Now on this boss extrude, which let's say we'll give it a name, F2, I'm going to call that USB metal insert. Okay, now this USB metal insert, I'm going to right click on that and edit feature. Let's say I wanted to make it longer, 14, 15. But what I actually want to do is I want to untick this merge result box. And if I untick this box, what you notice is when we actually accept this after it's unticked and accept it, you'll see that the solid bodies has gone from 1 to 2. And notice there, we have now 2 solid bodies. I've got the USB body curve and the USB metal insert, okay? What that means is essentially it's like saying this bit was made from plastic, this bit was maybe made from metal, okay? Whereas they're not just all the one part, they're 2 separate bodies. Now that is very good going forward when you're learning something later using what's known as the multi-body approach, where you can make something all into one go and then generate the parts afterwards, okay? And it saves you actually a good bit of time. Okay, so that's what we've done there. I want you, very important, in that USB metal insert, if you haven't done so already, you right click down here, edit feature, and you untick this merge result box. Click OK. Okay, now the next thing we want to do, if I just refer back over here, is I've made that little feature there. Now we want to cut the hole on it, okay? So it says here, select the shell command, select the face as shown, and shell to a thickness of 0.2 millimeters, okay? And accept this, okay? So, really easy feature here, and it's a really helpful one. If you ever want to create a hole inside of a body, okay? If you come up here to your features toolbar, okay? Up here you'll have a shell command. I'm just trying to find it there. There it is, shell command. So if I select the shell command, I want to set my distance to 0.2 millimeters. So my distance, 0.2, press enter. Now it's asking me in here to select the face, to shell out. So in this section here, I'm going to select this face. Okay, what I would always do, notice how nothing really happened here. I would always just usually have on show preview. And you can see here, it's like I'm after shelling it out. Okay, and when I accept that, it's after cutting it, and the distance there is 0.2 millimeters. Okay, so I'm happy with that there now. That's after being shelled out. So we're going to move on to the next part. And what I'll do is I'll leave the shell. Okay, I'll leave the shell just saying shell because that's fairly self-explanatory. Now, it says here, select the face shown and select the sketch command. Use the space bar so you look at normal to it. So top face and a sketch. Then what we want to do is, on that top face, I want to do a sketch using a corner rectangle, and I want to draw a square or a rough square that's 2 by 2, 2 in from the edge and 5 down from the top. Okay, so this is the top face. Select the face, select sketch. You can see for me it automatically comes in. If it does not do that for you and it's something like this, press spacebar and click normal to, which is that little icon there. Brings you perpendicular to the face. Now I want to go to this guy here, only I want a corner rectangle. So corner rectangle selected. I'm going to draw in a corner rectangle in here. I'm going to start by smart dimensioning that. First thing I'll do is select this line, 2, zoom in a bit better, this edge, 2. Then I want the distance from here to here, I think that's 5, and I want the distance from here to here to be 2. Okay, notice how the sketch has gone from blue to black. It is fully defined. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, guys, is we are going to cut through the whole object and cut through all. So I'm going to go features, extrude cut, And this time, instead of saying blind, I'm just going to say true all, and it will just go down to the bottom. Accept that. There we go. What you'll actually notice is we've got a cut on both sides. Cut on the top and the bottom. Okay, now it makes sense that that cut will be on the opposite side here as well. So, one thing I could have done at the same time was I could have just drawn two squares. But we're learning some new skills here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mirror that feature. We've actually practiced before mirroring a sketch. Now we're going to mirror a feature. So that cut, first of all, I'll rename it. And that is, I'm going to say metal slots. I'll say, yeah, metal cut slots is what I'll say. There we go. Now what I want to do is I want to mirror that feature. So with that feature made, and it says here, select the corner to a height of 1. Oh, sorry, going down here. And it says expand, where am I going? Oh yeah. So still in the features tab, select the mirror command. Expand the design tree and select the right plane as the mirror plane is shown. And then it says select the face is shown to draw the next sketch. Oh, sorry. I'll show you here, apologies. So we're going to use the right plane to mirror this guy so it's the same on the opposite side. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to my features tab, okay, which is up here, and I'm going to go to mirror. Okay, so first thing it's going to ask me is my mirror face plane. So when they're saying the design tree, I can actually select it from here as well. The arrow, select that. Okay, you can select it in here, the arrow. And what I want to do is I want to select the plane to mirror about. Okay, so you'll see here, if I hover over the front plane, that's not correct. If I hover the top plane, no. But if I hover over the right plane, you can see here it's right in the middle. Okay, so that's why at the very start, when we started an origin in the middle, that was helpful to us. So my right plane is now gone in here. Now what it's asking me is secondary mirror place plane. I don't need that. I'm just going to select here features to mirror. So leave this blank. In features to mirror, all I want to select is metal cut slots. When I select that, gone in there, you notice how they popped in here, green arrow. There we go, they've popped in. Rather than doing all the sketch again, I was just able to mirror that feature. Now that will only work if a plane is right in the middle of where you want it to be. Okay, so the next bit now, what we want to do is we want to, and I'll go back out to the drawing. We want to, it says, select the face shown. So it's hard to see in the picture here, but I'll show you where it is. So I want to select the inside face in here, that face there. So select this face and select sketch. Okay. Oh, I apologize, it wasn't that face, apologies, exit sketch. It actually was, make sure I'm looking down top of it, this face. Okay, just hover over my front plane there. Yeah, so I want to actually select this inside face in here, that face. So select that face and select sketch. Okay, so this inside face. Now what we want to do is it says select the corner rectangle and draw from the corner here over here and as a height of 1. Okay, so corner rectangle, starting on the corner here, click, let go, drag over to this line, click. I want to smart dimension that, and I want the height of that to be 1. Enter. Okay, so there's that done. I've got the sketch done. Okay, now what I'm going to have to do is just go to my next page on the document here. It says select extrude boss base and extrude up to surface. So very important, up to surface, and we're going to select that surface. Okay, once again, untick the merge result box. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go features, extrude boss base, merge result is ticked, so I'll untick that. Now what I want to do is instead of true all, I'm going to select up to surface. Now nothing has happened here because I have to select the surface to bring it up to. And the surface I want to select that's in this box here, okay, the one here with the little pink symbol, I'm going to press this face. So I zoom in this face right here, click on the face, I'm happy with that, accept that, green arrow. Okay, now, once again, I'm just going to refer back to that merge result, okay. Notice how there is a line here, this line right there, okay. If I go back into my edit feature here, okay, I'll actually rename it. And I'll just say USB power port. I always like to start with a capital when I'm using my design tree. I think it looks neater. So let's say that's the power port. Okay, obviously where the little bits will be going in there. But notice how there's a line here, okay, showing that this is meant to be separate from this. If I actually go back in here and right click and edit feature, and this time if I tick merge results, okay, and I tick the green arrow, notice how that line has gone. It's because the two surfaces have merged together, okay? And really I want to show that they're different because they're going to be, this is metal, this is going to be made from plastic and oil, okay? So because I want them to be separate from each other, okay, it's important that I untick that merge result box, okay? It helps us again, once again, if you're making more than one part. Now, what I want to do is notice again, its solid bodies is still only 2. Go back in here, edit feature, untick the merge result box, click the green arrow, our solid bodies is 3, and now we have a line as well. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now, that's that part done. The next bit we're going to move on to is, we've done that bit. It says here, select the face as shown and select the sketch icon, press normal 2, so we're looking, okay? And we want to draw, it says, select the center point circle and draw a circle anywhere on the face, okay? So we're drawing on the top surface a circle any size. So, top face, sketch, circle, okay, draw a circle anywhere, okay. Now purposely in this video you can see here it's kind of mapping onto the origin. I'm going to start it off the origin and I'd like you to do the same. So there's my circle. Now what I want to do is, it says here okay, the center of the circle must be vertically above the origin. To achieve this, select the center of the circle and holding down the control key CTRL, select the origin. When the control key is released, the ghost toolbar appears. Select the vertical icon. Okay, and you can see the vertical icon here. So, what we're going to do is, if you ever made a mistake like that, now at the very start I showed you, you could have started on the center. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click on the center of the circle. I'm now going to hold down control and click on the origin. Little toolbar appears here, and it'll also appear over here on the left hand side. The one I want to select is vertical. When I selected vertical, popped into the middle, it is directly above the origin. Okay, so with that done correctly. Now, okay, the next one we want to do is, we want to fully define the sketch. The smart dimension diameter is going to be 12, and then the distance from the origin to the center is going to be 15. Notice how it's gone from blue to black, we're fully defined. Okay, now we're still in our sketch tools, but it says here, so that's what we did here. Okay, now still in sketch commands, select offset entities. This is new to some of us. So it says select the circle and give an offset of 1 millimeter and select reverse if necessary. Okay, so 1 millimeter, and our parameters are reverse if necessary. Okay, a lot of these add dimensions and select chain will always be active, but reverse might not be. So to show you where that is, in our sketch command, you'll actually see over here we have offset entities. Okay, we also have convert entities and trim. The one we want is offset. So I select offset entities and I select my circle. Now notice how it's coming in huge. That is because I have to change this to 1 millimeter. And once again, I don't want the circle on the outside of it, but I want it on the inside. So in this case, I have to select, as they said, reverse, and it goes on the inside. Once I've selected reverse, click on the green arrow to accept. Okay, saves us doing another circle by just doing offset and setting the parameters. Okay, so offset anything. If I do it again here, if I selected offset and I did maybe, let's say 5, you don't have to do this now. Let's say I selected this edge, a line will come out 5 millimeters away. Don't want to do it, so I like hit the X. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to extrude cut that by 1 millimeter going down into it. So, features, extrude cut. Let's bring me into a 3D view. I want to select, okay, first of all, not up the surface, blind, and I want, instead of 12, 1. You can see it's gone down 1 millimeter into it. Select the green arrow. There we go. Made my lovely little slot for it. Okay, now it makes sense. If this is on one side, it should also be on the other side. So what are we going to use there that we've done already? We're going to mirror that feature. Okay. 1 sec there now. Actually, before we do that, apologies, we're actually going to have to do a little boss extrude. So another little thing here, we're now going to select, I'll just go out here. Apologies, I was getting ahead of myself. So we've done that, extrude cut by 1 millimeter, we've cut around it. Now it says, select the face shown and select the sketch command. Then it says, select convert entities and select the circle shown. Okay, so this face first of all. Select the face, select sketch. Now we're going to select convert entities. Now, the minute I selected convert entities, a little black circle has come around right on the perimeter of it. I'm going to undo that. Now, the face is still showing. Sorry for the sorry for the bell there, but I have a sketch done here, okay, just to go over that again. So what I want to do is I want to select convert entities. Now it's asking me entities convert. I'm going to select either the face or I can select the circle, the perimeter of the circle or the circumference. So select this, and there we go, accept that with a green arrow. And there it is. We did not have to redraw a circle, we could just convert what was already there. Now what I want to do with that is I want to go features, extrude boss base. This time I want to leave the merge result box ticked. I'm going up 1 millimeter, accept that, green arrow, done. If we didn't untick, or if we left the merge result box unticked there would be a line going around that, and I would have created another solid body. Okay, now with all of that done, what we're going to do now, okay, I think we're on to that. Oh, actually, sorry, we're going to apply one more thing. We're going to do a little fillet, okay, 0.1 millimeters. So if I come up here to my fillet tool, in my features toolbar, fillet, set. Now we want this one here, which is, hopefully it'll pop up, a constant size fillet. The size here, I want that, instead of 10 millimeters, I want it to be 0.1, press enter. And what I want to do is I just want to select the circumference of the circle there, right on the edge. Click on that, you can see a little fillet has come around it. Click the green arrow to accept. Okay, now having all of that done, we now want to do that on the opposite side. Okay, so rather than building all that again by doing circles, offset, relations, things like that, I can just mirror all of those. So to be able to do that, I'm going to go up here to my mirror command, and I have to select a mirror plane. So from the arrow here, I've got a couple of planes. I got the front, that doesn't look like it'll be the correct one, because then it would just mirror over into this space over here. But the one and the right one doesn't work. So the one I'm actually going to use this time is the top one, because the top one you'll see here is right in the middle, just about there. So if I select top, now what I'm going to do is mirror those features. So in the features to mirror, I'm going to select, just to make sure you can see they're coming in orange over here. Look, power port is in orange, but the one I want is cut extrude, boss extrude, and fillet. Where they're all gone in there, click the green arrow to accept. And there it is, it's done on the opposite side. Okay, so that bit is done there now. Just refer now to the sheet there. You can see here, it says select, okay, the features, that's what we did there with the mirroring, okay, and it was done on the opposite side. Come over here, there it is, in the design tree, select the features to mirror, so we did that. Now, the next thing we want to do is, we want to round the edges here. So it says here, select the fillet command and select the full round fillet icon, which is this one here. Okay, and then it says click in the first box and select the top face, click in the second box and select the side face, then in the third box select the bottom face. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to my fillet tool, fillet, and the one I want to select is this one here, full round fillet. So when I select that, notice how this area here is going to change. Okay, now in this one we're going to select the top face. So in here, top face. In the second box, you have to tick into it. We're going to select the side face. In this case, they're calling it the center face. And then this box down here, we're going to rotate and select the bottom face. And when I select the bottom face, notice what happens. A full round fillet has come in. Accept that with the green arrow. We're going to repeat that process on this side. Okay? You could also mirror that feature, but I'm just going to repeat the process to get into the habit. Fillet. And what we're going to do is we're going to go same thing, top face, second box, side face, and then third box, bottom face. Green arrow, accept. Okay, now what I do have to do here is I have a couple of little things. So for the cut extrude, I'm going to go back here, F2, and I'm just going to say USB cover slot, because that's where the USB cover is going to slot into. And I'm going to do rename as well. Cover slot, and I'll say extrude. So what I should have said was USB, I'll rename that cover slot cut. So that's a cut one, that was an extrude one. Okay, so I've renamed those. Fillets, I'm not going to name them. Mirror, I'm not going to name that either. Okay, because obviously when you highlight it, you can see what it was mirrored from. Okay, so there we go. That's that part of it done. Next bit we're going to move on to. Just get caught up there. Is on the top surface. Okay, here we go. So on our sheet, it says on the top surface, draw a line at 45 degrees as shown. So we're going to select this surface here. You can see it highlighted here, this surface. We're going to draw a line at 45 degrees and accept the sketch. And then we're going to go extrude cut. And then it says, and tick the thin feature box. Okay, so what we're going to do is select this surface, select sketch. Okay, now I'm going to click my line tool. And what I want to do is right on the corner here, where that little node is starting. It's very important. Make sure I'm looking normal to it. I have to move in there a little bit. Starting right there, click, let go. I want to drag down roughly any angle. I'm going to do about maybe this angle, but it's very important I end up on the line here. So click on that. Press escape to deactivate your tool. The next thing we want to do is we want to give that a dimension. So smart dimension. Click on the line here and click on this line. That angle I want to be 45 degrees. And notice now it's gone fully defined. Now what we want to do is, it's very easy, we could actually just continue and draw a triangle there and cut that away. But you can just go features, extrude cut. And what I want to do is I just want to go thin feature. I'll first of all change it to through all. And then thin feature. That's going out there. Green arrow to accept. There we go. Okay, so just to repeat that, go back in there, edit feature. So it's very important that I did through all, and as long as I selected thin feature, one direction, happy with that, green arrow, done. Now, I have it done on one side, what can we do on the other? We can repeat it by mirroring it. So go to your mirror tool, select an appropriate plane to mirror from. You'll see the planes come up in orange, there you go. And then our feature is already in there because it's the last thing I was doing, so I'll accept that. If it wasn't in there, you just select it from here. Okay, perfect. This one, I'm going to rename it something. I'm just going to call it 45 degree cut. I'll say 45 degree USB cut. Perfect. Okay, happy with that now. So now we're on to the next part, which is going to be, sorry there, the lights are gone out, just adding another fillet. Okay, so how am I going to do that? I'm going to go up here, it's the back part here. I'm going to go to my fillet tool, and what I want to do is I want to fillet this face here. Now I don't want a full round fillet, I just want to go back here to a constant size fillet, and I want to change this to 0.1, which it already is, and I'm going to select this part here, and notice how it will go around the whole perimeter. Accept that with the green arrow. Okay, that was the instructions. We did this one, and then we did the mirror feature, mirror this about the right plane, and then apply a 1mm fillet to the edges shown. Okay, so that bit is done. That's the actual part made there now. Okay, part is fully made. Now what we're going to do is we're going to apply some appearances to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do it the way they do it in the instruction sheet. So it says here, to apply appearances to the part, select the icon here, this little kind of appearances icon on the right hand side of the screen. Expand the appearance folder by selecting the arrow symbol. Scroll down to select the plastic folder and select low gloss. Apply a black low gloss plastic to the body by holding down the left button on the mouse and dragging the black low gloss plastic ball onto the body in the drawing area. Select the body icon as shown, this one, and then apply a black low gloss plastic to the insert also as shown inside here. So same thing, I'm going to do it for both. So here's the here's the appearances setting, okay, on the right hand side of the screen. Usually in a previous video I got you to right click and select the down arrow and do it this way. You can also do it over here. Select the ball, then go into appearances. I want plastic, select the arrow beside plastic, low gloss, and the one we want, scroll down, the one we want is black. So I'm going to click on that, but I'm just going to click onto it. I'm going to come onto the body here, and what I want to do is look, notice now, because we've created separate bodies. Remember our solid bodies on the left hand side of the screen? Okay, over here. But, sorry, I have to do that again now. But remember our solid bodies with 3 of them. click on this, black low gloss, hover over onto it, okay, drag, click and hold and pull it over. It's gone onto this, and watch this, because look, if I select the face, it'll just go onto the face. You can see there as I zoom in. Then the USB cover slot is the whole thing. Then the whole body that I'm putting it on is getting done. Whereas if I do this one, it'll do the whole part file that we're in. I want the body. So select that, happy. Okay. I also want it to happen in this part. That was a separate body. So here we go. Black low gloss plastic. Put it into there. Once again, just the body, not the part, just the body. You can see the icon here, click. So that's those two parts done. The next thing I want to do is, if I just go back to my sheet, it says apply a brush steel appearance to the body as shown. Okay, so brush steel to the actual metal part. So, appearances icon. Don't want plastic, I want metal now. Steel is there. And I want a brush steel, click and hold onto this part. Once again, just the body. There we go. From the angle there, it looks quite dark, but you can see here as I rotate it around. Okay, there we go. So that's the brush steel. That's the part done, guys. Okay, so what I would do now is I would go up here to File, Save As. I want to save it into the correct folder. So 50 SolidWorks. Okay, I have one done previously, but what you would do is you go 50 SolidWorks, save it into the USB key. And now what I'm going to say it is USB, I'm trying to remember, what was it? Key body. And there we go, save. It is now saved as USB key body. So if I X out of that, I can open that up. And there it is. I can reopen that, and that's the file done. Okay, so that's the first part done, guys. Lots in that there. We worked with planes and mirroring features. Okay, and you also use some new sketch tools then in relation to, in the sketch here bar, you had the offset entities and the convert entities as well. Okay, in the next video, we'll do a little tiny bit on trimming entities. Okay, that's the first video done there for that first part. If you get this one done, obviously you move on to the second video. Okay, hope you found that helpful.